Hello everybody. This time we're going to do the tank attach angles, which are Z-shaped pieces of aluminum to attach the tanks to the main spar. I concatenated the work of 2 days in one video because the first one was very short. I just worked a few hours on it. So these are the tank attach angles. They are connected to the baffles. The baffles are the plates you can see laying in front of me. They are the bottom side or the aft side of the tanks. Tanks skins you can see in the cradle, and you need to attach them to the main spar because they are detachable. You can detach the tanks from the main spar. Probably not easy, but it's doable. So these things are not riveted onto the wings, but are bolted on it. Okay, the first step is to mark all the angles with center lines, so you can drill holes in that. That's what I'm going to do right now. So you only drill the center hole, and then in the next video we're going to use the main spar as a guide to drill the other holes. There are 14 of those angles in total, 7 for every wing. However, the first angle of every wing is different. There are different holes, and also there are no nut plates connected to them. You connect the nut plates to the main spar for the first one. Okay, some deburring, and then checking the plans, everything is okay. I'm going to do some tests with the main spar, see if the angles are correctly drilled and fit in the main spar. Okay, so now we're going to the next day. And I did some experiments with some videos, so to explain some stuff. So for instance, here you can see the Clico. So the Clico is a temporary attachment for things you want to rivet. You can see how it works. If you press the Clico pliers, it's going to extrude, and you can insert it because it's smaller, and then if you release it, it will get bigger again. So that's the way that you can temporarily fasten aluminum plates or skins to the ribs or spars. Okay, so what we're going to have to do now is the angles that we drilled in the previous version. I'm going to attach them to the aft side. That's not the side that they should be on eventually, but for now that's the best way to drill them. So you attach them to the aft side, and you take the main spar, the holes in the main spar, as a guide to drill the other ones. You can see that here. So in the middle one it's Clicoed together, and the top hole is already drilled, and you take the spar hole as a guide to drill the lower one. So this guarantees that all holes are aligned. You have to do that for all the angles. And mark them. And of course the middle hole is not drilled with the guide yet, so you do that as a last step. Okay. And I forgot the middle holes as the last two, because they were under the skin. Okay, deburring. Also on the inside. And now we have to create plate nuts, or attach plate nuts to those angles in order to bolt them to the main spar. So here you can see how I attach plate nuts. So what you do is you take a screw and you use the screw to attach the plate nut to the angle, and this way you'll drill the holes on the correct side, and those holes, with those holes you can rivet the plate nut to the angle. So the next step is to drill those holes. So you have to do that for all 7 because I work on the left side, left wing here. You can see I marked them like L1, L2, L3. And every time you take a new nut plate as a guide for the rivet holes. Done. Well, I need to do only 6 because the 7th one is needs a complete different operation. After drilling the holes for the rivets, we need to countersink them because the angles need to be flush, of course, against the forward side of the main spar. So I take a micro stop and I'm going to drill all the holes, countersink them. Yeah, here you can see it in action. So with the countersink you can drill, and if you set it correctly you can just drill it all the way because it stops at the correct depth. It needs of course an initial adjustment. So you have to do it very carefully, and once you set it correctly, you can reuse it. You only have to be careful on the edges, so where only one side of the microstop is on the aluminum, or else you could do it wrong. So now I have to countersink all the holes for the rivets, and this guarantees that I can set the angles flush against the main spar. Alright, I was really working at a great time. The problem was I said, oh, let's also rivet the nut plates to the angles, but that was a little stupid because I didn't prime them yet. But I only figured it out after I had riveted one complete angle, so 6 rivets in there, and then I realized, oh crap, I didn't prime it, so yep, I had to drill them out again. Anyway, here you can see how I do it. I take the squeezer, because the squeezer, especially with small rivets, is really good. The quality is really great, so okay, it's clearly that it's the first time I'm trying to film a squeezer action. So it's really easy, and then the result is really great. You get a nice flush rivet with the exact depth. Here again, just as with a microstop, you need to adjust the squeezer for a specific rivet in this case, and a specific material once, and once you've done that correctly you can just easily make a lot of production. You can see I just pull the lever until it's in place, and then when it's all set, I pull it all the way, so it's actually riveting. Yeah, here I found that, oh crap, I didn't prime it, so I removed them, but that's not on the video. Right, next time I do the right wing, continuing building my pie in the sky.